last but not least, y'all know what time it is. It's rapid reactions. Whole lot of topics. Little bit of time. Jay, the floor is yours.
All right, 2 days after losing two players to season-ending injuries and OTAs, the 49ers have canceled the remainder of their mini camp. Is that a good idea, or should they have pushed forward?
I think it's a good idea. Yo, what team has the worst luck with these injuries than the 49ers? Golly, they can't even do a mini count without losing two players. Let's know when they do a regular count. So, no, hey, listen, I'm with the 49ers. Go and shut it down. I don't know. Find some other way. Or maybe the strength and conditioning coach. Maybe he's just doing too much. I don't know. It's a hard question, but if I had to make the decision, I might just shut it down because we seen how injuries ruined their season last year, and now you're already rolling into injuries coming into this season. I would probably be more for just shutting it down. Broncos safety Kareem Jackson said the Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson has said that he wants to be in Denver. Would you trade for Deshaun Watson?
I'm really intrigued about this right now as a Bronco fan, but I'm really going to need some inside advice on this legal situation and try to get an idea of where it's going to go. If this is something that we can get around and he's going to be good, then maybe I take a shot on him. But if I get indications to where this legal situation ain't going away and there's a lot of smoke and fire going on right there, then I'm going to have to pass, unfortunately. Alabama football has set up more non-conference matchups in the distant future, with a series with Oklahoma State in 2028 and 2029. And they got two games coming up with Boston College in 2031 and 2034. Way in the future, but which opponent has you more excited, Drink?
Oh, that's easy. It's Oklahoma State. Boston. Listen, Boston College. Alabama ain't trying to be going up there dealing with that weather in Boston. Like they don't want to go deal with that. But it's easily Oklahoma State. Listen. Here's what this sounds like to me. The program is scheduling a lot of games. This seemed like to be Nick Saban's last salvo, probably this season, next season, one of the two. And he's just trying to set it up where whoever comes, they need to come in there and worry about X's and O's. They ain't got to worry about no scheduling. They ain't got to worry about none of that other stuff. So it seems like he's just trying to set up his successor and put him in a good position for when he do call it quits. But, yeah, as far as that goes, it's Oklahoma State for me. Boston Red Sox ace left-hander Chris Sale said he will pitch before the end of the season. Is that a big deal?
It's a big deal, potentially for a couple of reasons. Number one is Chris Sale, so he's the best pitcher the Red Sox have, and bringing him back would be great no matter what. But Boston right now, they were god awful last year in the COVID shortened season. But Boston's, they're in the thick of the AFC East right now, in second place, in line for a wild card spot right now. Offense is performing at a great level with Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, and J.D. Martinez. But I think down the line, as the season progresses, the starting pitching probably could use a little bit of a boost. And what better boost you could ask for than a healthy Chris Sale coming off Tommy John? So yes, could be a huge deal if they continue to hold down the fort without him. The 2020-21 NBA MVP award went to Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic as the Serbian ended up with 91 out of 100 first-place votes. Pretty lopsided results in my eyes. What do you think, Drink?
That was pretty disrespectful to Joel Embiid. I thought that was really disrespectful. Because before Joel Embiid got hurt, he was number one. I thought it was a little gap between him and Jokic. I really did. And then I know he got hurt and he missed some games, but golly, what did you say earlier in the show? How quick we forget. I was like, God, they treating the man like he ain't done nothing all season. So I don't know, man. I don't know what that was about. Maybe injuries do get factored in a lot more than I thought. But it was disrespectful. I think Joel Embiid definitely deserved more votes than that. I thought it was kind of disrespectful. The United States Senators was largely divided among party lines earlier today while debating legislation central to college athletes and their ability of profiting off their names, image, and likeness. What's your reaction to this?
Well, this was an area where people agreed in Congress for some reason about this, and now you'll pull up the news today and like, oh well, they don't agree. So it's every day's Monday in Congress. Nobody agrees on anything, and nobody does anything, and that's why people have such a disdain for the United States Congress, and their approval rating is, I don't know, worse than the media. So I think it's unfortunate. It'd be nice for us to agree on something and actually do something. But I guess not today. We expect to have a report out next week from a college football playoff subcommittee, which will break down the strengths and weaknesses of playoff expansion. What do you expect to hear from that subcommittee?
Well, I mean, I expect to hear, so they're gonna roll out an 18 plan, a 10-team plan, and a 12-team plan. Um, Listen, I expect to hear a lot of Pac-12 and Group of Five part of that committee saying, let's do this right now. The SEC, Big Ten, Big 12, I expect them to be like, nah, we ain't in no rush. We'll just see what it looks like. At the end of the day, it just be projections. But I don't see anything because if I'm not mistaken, the current playoff format they got now, I think it's another like 5 to 6 years left on that plan before they actually think about scratching the rest of that. So, listen, now I would say this: expansion will come sooner rather than later, and it could come before the 6 year mark because listen, they made that plan before COVID, and since COVID came and changed up some things, they could come quicker. But it's going to be a lot of bickering going back and forth before they actually decide on what they're going to do. But those are the things I think we're going to hear out of that one. The Cincinnati Reds have placed starting pitcher Sonny Gray on a 10-day disabled list with a groin strain. Big deal, little deal, or no deal?
I think it's a little deal. He's only expected to miss 2 turns in a rotation. Cincinnati right now, they just a couple games under 500. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. They can hold the fort for 2 starts for him. He comes back and they just keep on humming, and they should be. That's a good enough team. I think that they'll compete for a wild card. I think they'll be okay. Miami Heat team president Pat Riley was fined $25,000 by the NBA today for violating the league's anti-tampering rules for comments he made about Los Angeles Lakers superstar forward LeBron James. You think Riley's going to miss that $25K?
Nope. And then he about to go find another superstar that might be in his last year, his contract, and he gonna talk about him too. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Think about the trade-off, right? You gonna find me $25,000, and I could possibly go get a superstar that can take us to the next level. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about if he said this about Steph Curry, and then Steph Curry really thought about, oh, you know what? I want to go to Miami. Like, that 25 is nothing. That is nothing if you get a superstar at that level. So Pat Riley know that. So I don't think he's gonna miss it. I don't think the organization gonna miss it for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if he get hit with another fine, to be honest with you. Last one. We got the Clippers. We got the Jazz tomorrow night. Game 2. Who wins?
Clippers tied up. Kawhi goes for 35 plus, and he holds Donovan Mitchell to less than 40% shooting from the floor. They'll tie it up. And that concludes today's Drink of Wisdom. As always, like, listen, share, subscribe. We appreciate it all. I'm Jay Watts.
And I'm Nathan Drinker. And remember, make tomorrow better than today, and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.